So this is Howard's house, the house that Howard built.
Everything in this building has Howard's mark on it. Everything.
Howard is a ben bite. In Hebrew, that means someone who is born into this place. Sinai Temple is so much of who Howard is.
Sinai Temple has been in our lives since we were children. My parents have been members here. We went to Sunday school. We went to Hebrew school. We were bar and bat mitzvahed here. My father worked here as a principal of the Sunday school. My dad set an example that my brother really looked up to. Howard followed my father's footsteps. He became a principal.
I was the director of education at Sinai Temple for 5 decades. He walked into my office after working in the day camp, wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and he wanted to be interviewed to be the principal of the elementary school. I took one look at him and I said, okay. He was really passionate about the mission of a Jewish school.
We both worked at Sinai Temple. So you could see how he cares about people. You feel that he cares for you. You feel that he cares to what each and every one of us was going through.
He's an educator at heart, but he's a lover of people. He's a man that brings people together.
He tries to lift up kids because he cares about them. He cares about how kids are educated, and he cares about contributing to the kind of adults that they become.
He enjoys children, he enjoys being an educator, and I think that all led up to him being executive director here at the Sinai Temple.
When he was interviewing, he was jumping in with both feet. He really wanted it, and if he wanted it, then I wanted it for him. I knew it was going to be the right thing, and it was. It was the right thing for all of us.
When you are a principal of a school, you are first and foremost an educator, but you also have to be a good administrator. The move to be executive director was not a huge change for him.
It was very important for him to come home and to keep Sinai Temple at the level and beyond that we grew up with.
Howard has such a wonderful eye for detail.
The building is always put together in such a beautiful way because he really spent a lot of time and has a really good eye for redecorating.
Just look here in the Ziegler Sanctuary. This carpeting, Howard. The complimentary upholstery on the pews, Howard. All the lighting in the corridor, Howard.
There are places in this physical building that only Howard Lesner knows about.
In these two closets here are the pipes for the organ that we just looked at upstairs. It's fascinating. Most of you have never seen it.
He knows every nook and cranny because he loves the physical place, and he loves the physical place because he loves the spirituality that happens in this place.
This place is extremely important to him. He is very committed to his job at the temple. Whenever we'd be at the temple, I'd come in to pick up Murphy, or I'm at the temple for some event, or even out in public with him. There was always somebody who ran into him, who knew him. I saw how they looked at him and how they felt about him, and they really looked up to him as somebody who was a leader in this community.
If there's perhaps one word that I would use to describe what he brings to his work here at Sinai, is humanity. How he deals with everybody on the staff, how he deals with the congregants, how he deals with the officers of the synagogue, how he deals with the rabbis. It all grows out of a sense of humanity and a sense of connecting with people in that way.
Howard makes his staff feel like family. He is always available. When I call him, he picks up. He treats everyone with respect.
His door was always open for me. I felt like I can come in and talk to him about anything. And I think that it's still, like, that legacy still lives on through the staff at Sinai, where we all feel like one big family.
I think of Howard as a nurturer. I think of him as a compassionate soul. I think of him as a confidant. He is a listener. Anytime I've had a struggle or a worry, I've always known Howard has my back.
It's definitely the father figure, maybe the grandfather figure.
It was never a question of what we needed. It was a question of how can we help you for what you do need.
But as far as the leadership qualities go and how he deals with people and how he treats his employees and the people around him, I took a lot from that in my current position as an educator. In my career, I'm in a place where I have people under me who I have to, and people who I also have to work with. And a lot of my style and how I approach the job and communicating with people comes from what I learned from him, watching him do it.
So I definitely think the rabbis, I think it was something that was really important to him to really support and go beyond just a professional relationship, but really to support them in so many different ways.
So many of the rabbis and cantors who came here oftentimes right out of school or just with very few years of training, looking for a role model, looking for a mentor. We found that in Howard.
His vision for Sinai Temple was to make sure that we in this synagogue were a beacon of light for the Los Angeles Jewish community, for the greater Los Angeles community, for the greater Jewish community, both here in North America and even all the way to Israel.
Past students, to parents, to teachers that work with him, to peers, to anybody that was with him. I hope he feels how grateful they all are to him for making a change and making a difference in their life.
I would say when I see him interact with Murphy, it's different. It's in a good way, not in a bad or good way. It's different because he gets to let loose a little bit more. He definitely imparts to her, wants her to be a good kid, wants her to grow up and be a good person. But when he's with her, it's all about having fun. He wants to have a good time with her. They love to go hiking. They love to play games. He loves to spoil her. Definitely, and he just loves spending time with her in general, and playing tricks on her. Yes, he has a sense of humor when it comes to playing tricks on her. Like, I see that you made a difference not just in my life and not just in Murphy's life right now, and our two daughters at home, who he's going to make an impact on as well. But he made an impact for everyone in this community, and that he's a big part of my life, and he's a big part of the reason I'm the person who I am today.
One of the first teachings that our rabbis teach is Moshe Kibel Torah Sinai, that Moses received the Torah from Mount Sinai, and Moses passed it from generation to generation to Joshua, to the elders, to the prophets, all the way to us today. I'd like to change that around. Howard Kibel Torah Sinai. Howard received the Torah from Sinai Temple, and Howard passed that Torah down from generation to generation. And I am so grateful that he passed that Torah to me, to Rabbi Guzik, to the new clergy, and to the generations that will continue to pass that Torah down as well.